Aloha, and welcome to Nonprofits Mean Business Too, where we will delve into services provided in our community by nonprofit organizations. I'm your host, Krista Stadler, joined by Magin Patrick, the co-founder and director of Project Hawaii. Welcome, Magin. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. It's so great to be here today.
Thanks. I wanted to take a minute and have you introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about how long you've been involved with Project Hawaii. Well, you co-founded it, how that all came to be. So fill us in, please. We would love to know.
Yeah, great. Thank you for having me again. My name again is Magin Patrick, and I am the co-founder and director of Project Hawaii. Project Hawaii is a nonprofit organization that is staffed solely by volunteers and supported by public donations. I founded this organization actually on the mainland, and when I moved here in 2003, it was just natural for me to continue my efforts. The reason we have Project Hawaii is to really fill the gaps of the needs of the homeless children that live unsheltered across the islands. So Project Hawaii is very unique in the fact that we can provide services as needed and implement different programs as required by the individual child and or family's needs so that they can succeed. Our overall mission is to educate and create an environment where the homeless children and their families can escape the cycle of homelessness and poverty completely from their own life. So that's our main focus for Project Hawaii.
How do you tell me about your outreach? Do they typically come to you? Are you out in the homeless community and you approach them about what you're able to provide? How does that normally work?
Yeah, so because we are not funded by any source other than the public, we don't have an outreach center or a place where people come to us. So we do that individual outreach. We go into the bushes, up in the mountains, in the real remote areas. It's funny, we'll follow little paths that we find that will lead to a homeless encampment, or when you see those blue tarps and tents, we know there's homeless children there, we're gonna go. So we really do outreach. We do not, like I said, do not have a facility for them to come. So it is based on our outreach and us locating the children personally.
That's awesome. Wow. And I would imagine you spend how much time a week would you say you spend out there, conducting your outreach?
Yeah, so typically when we gear up to do an outreach, it's not always planned. Sometimes we have to work around our schedules and other people's schedules because of volunteering and so forth. But we plan, we make lunches and hygiene bags, and those are kind of an introduction packet. When we go to a new encampment or when we find new families, we don't just go empty-handed with a clipboard. We go with services and just ask them, can we check on you from time to time? Would you be interested in services? Is there a way we can help you, versus here's a clipboard, fill it out and we'll get you in the program. So we are really, trying to build that trust from day one. We do spend the day doing it. Sometimes we won't get home until after dark. We have found a lot of times finding the homeless children is easier, not only after school, but more towards the evening. We can find them at water holes or on beaches taking showers or in different public areas. So we have found that in the evenings, it's a little easier to actually locate the children.
Wow, that's interesting. Oh my goodness. About your programs, I know you have quite a few, but it sounds like you have one going on right now for the summer that's something you probably want to share with us and talk about, and we would love to hear about it.
Yeah, so we do have a lot of different programs. Due to COVID, unfortunately, some of them are on hold due to the social distancing and other restrictions that we have. But we are a year-round program. We have a mommy and me class. We do holiday events for every holiday. Some people don't consider Halloween a holiday, but a costume is involved. School children are involved. It's a holiday. So we make provisions for all the holidays. Our summer camp is our pride and joy. It is the stepping stone to their success. It's an educational program that has 3 facets. We start them at age of 3. to help them get ready for school prep, and get them socially and life skill prepared for school. And then we have our junior leader program, which is for middle school age children, and our teen mentoring, which is the high school age children. So our summer education program is the foundation of their success through our programs.
Is it a daytime program, or is it like a camp that they go to for a week or two?
Yeah, so we have, there's different aspects of that as well. The beginning, it's a 4-week program, and we have our Adventures Abound Day Camp, which is a daytime camp for the younger children from 3 to 7. They would only attend day from 7 in the morning till 4 in the afternoon, and we pick them up. We take them to the places such as the zoo or the museums or the aquarium, just different places across the island that they can learn about we call it the wonders of our island. And then those children, the 3 to 7-year-olds, will join us for a week at camp at Kalopa State Park for a sleepover. And they spend the whole week there being mentored by the junior leaders and the teen mentors, doing activities. We have Share Your Talent guest days, so it invites the community to come up and share talent. So we can have anything from yoga, culture, music, science, and then the children at graduation, which is another week later, would receive their back to school supplies, backpacks. We even provide school uniforms, new shoes, new outfits, hygiene care kits, we put them to school prepared. They do not go to school lost or socially inadequate to, be a mainstream child. Our teen mentoring and our junior leader program is 24/7 for the entire time. We actually rent vacation houses and give them training, give them workshops. We take them, we actually do travel around the island of the Big Island, and we go to Kona, Waikoloa, and Hilo. So it's in different stages. It allows the teens to really learn about their island and to just have those different experiences that would otherwise be out of their financial reach.
Yeah, I just can't believe, I didn't realize it went into clothing. And and you're doing this all, you're not partnering with other organizations. This is just Project Hawaii doing that.
We're very unique in our services. And another unique thing about the camp, like you were saying, you didn't realize how much is involved. We do provide the children with all their sleeping bags, their pillows, their shoes for camp. Their hygiene, their toothpaste, just down to every aspect that you as a normal person, I don't like that word normal, but as a mother, you would send your kid off to camp prepared. These kids come to camp, sometimes no shoes or shirts, nothing. So what do? We have to provide.
Of course. I have a question from a viewer, and they would like to know, how many kids do you average take on these trips, and do you get attached? I know you get attached to them, but do you get attached to them easily?
Yeah, so thank you for that question. We actually do have a system. We didn't have a system when the program started. We had a free-for-all, it's camp, and come join us, and that was called Chaos. So we actually do, we have 24 little ones between the ages of 3 and 7. We have 24 junior leaders, which is the middle school, and then 12 teen mentors. So it is a system of how we regulate that. We can have one-on-one buddies, and then the mentors as supervisors. Of course, we have some real supervisors, but the way the program flows. Yeah.
That gives them a feeling of responsibility and, being a leader. I think that's great.
Yeah, it's a great process. And do we get attached to them? Yes, our volunteers, I believe, get more attached than I do personally, because I've learned to disattach. I had to go through a learning process, and it just took decades. It took years to do this, was not to think about them, fully as what more can I do? We have to be happy with what we can do and not worry about everything else. But a lot of our volunteers get so attached that they cry at night, or they'll call me on the phone. What can I do more? And it is sad.
Well, I know you have a video of the camp experience. I would love for you to share that with us. So Do you want to tell a little bit about it before we present it?
Yeah, so a few years ago, it was a 10-year process that we had tried to do and failed epically over the years. And then a few years ago, we did find a mainland photographer that came over, and he actually stayed with the entire camp from start to finish, went on all our tours with the teen mentors, with the young ones. He stayed at camp. And so he put together a fun video that shows from the child's perspective of the happiness and joy that they experience. It really just shows a different life at camp that I had never experienced without this video. So I hope you enjoy it.
It's an honor to watch these kids grow, no matter what part of life they come from.
When children sign up and come to camp, we as volunteers know that we may or may not get them continually throughout their life. We know we have that one chance, that one shot to help them succeed. To me, it is a mission to save their lives while they're at camp.
Just being with the kids, working with them, seeing the smile on their face, and knowing that for a week, for a few days, that they don't have to worry about where their food coming from, if they're going to have friends or.
Helps the kids grow, helps them.
Yes, I feel like it changes their life.
Oh, that gets you. I love it.
I actually haven't seen the shorter version before.
It's awesome. It just lets you see how they don't have to worry about the things they probably have to worry about when they're out on the streets, and they can just be kids, It's wonderful. Yeah.
And when you see that video too, like what I saw, that, like I said, I had not seen the shorter version of it, but they had when they were putting the towels on their head, that's us giving them their towels, all the stuff that they need for their cabin. And then I noticed, like, every day they have a brand new white shirt that says summer camp, like all those things is what helps to grow their self-esteem and their self-worth. And even the sweatshirts they're wearing are provided by Project Hawaii. So when I look at the video, I see things that the community is going to see. Oh, they look well cared for, but that's because of the public's donation. That's because of the support we get, that they are able to be well cared for.
Well, I have a lot of other things to talk to you about, but we're going to take a short break, and I'm excited for the second half of our show. So please stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Aloha, I'm Christine Linders, a physical therapy specialist and the host of Movement Matters. My show is designed to teach you the simplest and most effective treatment strategies to get you out of pain and back to doing what you love. If you or someone you know is having pain in a certain area of the body and would like a free assessment in treatment over media or in person, and then come on the show to talk about it, email us at thinktechmovementmatters@gmail.com. Or if you have a topic you would like to know more about, please email us. My goal is to decrease pain all over the world, inspiring people to take better care of their bodies, to enjoy life to the fullest. I look forward to hearing from you.
Aloha and welcome back to Nonprofits Mean Business Too. We're here with Magin Patrick with Project Hawaii, the co-founder and director, and we welcome you back. I had a question after listening to you talk about, the kids and getting attached and just all of that. Have you ever had, since you've been doing this for 17 years here in Hawaii, have you ever had a child come back as an adult and be a volunteer?
Yes.
Has that ever happened?
Yeah. Actually, we have a lot of success stories, and we actually 17 years seems like a long time that they're adults now. They're still getting their lives together. we actually have some that quite a few teens that were young when they were in the program, 5, 6, 10, the younger kids that have been the first to graduate high school in their entire generation of families. And then on top of that, they went to college, and some went to universities off island, which is amazing. Like, that's amazing for anyone being raised in Hawaii. I have 4 kids myself, and they did not all go to college. That's not, it's not always the Hawaiian plan. And so we have had those types of successes with the younger kids actually going on to greater things, because we have our team mentoring program. They kind of are the volunteers. They kind of are implemented back into the program to help the younger ones. But what we have seen a lot of success from is our teen moms that were moms when they entered the program, homeless, no education, no diplomas, and so forth. They go back to school, they go to college, get degrees, and stop that cycle of homelessness. One example, I had a 16-year-old that had 2 children living with her grandma on the beach. That was just the way it was. And it was back to school time. She came to me and she was so mad because I didn't have a backpack for her. I told her, you don't go to school. What do you need a backpack for? Oh, she was so mad. I said, I'll help your babies, but you're not really part of the program, 16 or not. You have 2 babies. I'll take care of your babies if you need a diaper bag or, And the next Saturday, she came to me with these papers, threw them at me. I'm in night school now. I need a backpack. Oh, good. She was so mad. And she went on to get her GED diploma, went to college, got a teaching degree, and she works for Head Start. And her babies live in a 2-bedroom apartment, first ever in their generation to not be on the beach. So things like that are what inspire us to keep going. Yeah. Our current team right now, our COVID support team on Big Island, we have 7 in our team, and 3 of those 7 were actually moms that were part of our program that are no longer homeless. They're working full time. 2 are self-employed. 2 are actually buying their own home right now. I mean, it's just amazing. And those are our team leaders for the COVID outreach right now. So they do come back because they know what it's like and they know it's possible to succeed. So,
and who better to share their experience than the people that have gone through it and had success. That's exactly. Great. Yeah,
that's one thing. It's not publicly known everywhere unless you really dig deep. But I was raised as a homeless child. Me and all my siblings were taken away at a very young age, put into the CPS programs. We were in foster cares, and back then they had group homes. We had a very trying life. We lived through a lot of abuse from my parents' side, my step parents, and like the whole thing. So it's not a real it's not really publicly known, but I was homeless as a child, along with my siblings, with a parent that was not capable of caring for us. So when kids, especially teenagers, come to me, or the moms will come to me and say, well, you couldn't possibly know what it's like. You don't know. I was like, oh, don't tell me what I don't know. Don't tell me. I had to eat out of a garbage can to feed my siblings. Like, don't tell me I don't know. I do know. And I do know it's, I had to drop out in the 8th grade. I mean, I've been on that roller coaster ride, and I know that there's a light at the end of the tunnel for those who want it. So
that explains your passion as well. So yeah. I wanted to get into a little bit of the business of the nonprofit. So tell me a little bit about where your donations come from, your funding. tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so we, as I had stated before, we are solely supported by public donations, by small grants that we write for here on the islands, and we do have companies that actually small businesses and small companies that will give us like 10% on a monthly basis, or do promotions throughout the year to say, you know, for every item we sell, Project Hawaii gets X amount and so forth. So we really are funded by a lot of really unique and different ways. Because of the COVID, it has actually opened up more people reaching out to find ways to help. And because of that, we have had more supporters, which in some ways COVID has really affected us. A lot of our monthly donors have had to drop out because of, you know, their lack of income or their uncertainty. But
Sure.
in the meantime, we've had companies come forward and say, hey, we can help you. So we did get a
That's
grant.
great.
Yeah, we got a grant from the Hawaii Community Foundation to help feed the Big Island families. So 127 families have been supported because of that grant so far. So
That's awesome. When you're I'm going back to the summer camp now because this question just popped into my head, but if you only have 24 spots for each of the categories, do you often have more than 24 that you would like to include, and how do you handle the overflow? How do you decide who's going to be selected?
yes, we do. We have a wait list. We always have a wait list. How we determined what we did was in the beginning, like I said, it was chaotic and it was a free for all, and just, you know, if you're hungry and you're homeless, come, we'll take care of you. And it wasn't working. So what we do is we try to start with the children at the youngest age of 3. So that's our target. And then basically when you come to a family, they have a 3-year-old, a 5-year-old, a 6-year-old, a 10-year-old, a 12, you know, so they fill up all the slots. They can fill up slots in each category.
Yeah.
And when we found that to be the case in most of our situations, we decided to work with the families to give them first priority, the ones that actually want to succeed and move forward, versus the ones that are just, you know, sometimes they have that entitlement, like, I'm homeless, so I deserve this, or other ones that are like, I can't handle my kids, send them to you. You know, we really want to help the ones that want to succeed and escape that cycle. So we do have a selection process. And again, we start from the smaller, for the youngest ones, we feel if we can work with them from the ages of 3 to 5 before they get to school, they have a way better chance of succeeding in school. And then we go from there. So
Okay, that makes sense.
not science. It's not science, but
Yeah, but it's organized. Yeah. And I know you were telling me when we were talking off camera yesterday, you were telling me about like the hygiene bags that are created and the masks and whatnot. Are those things that you're taking the funds that have come in and you're purchasing them, or most of the things you're like the food and the supplies, are those coming in as donations themselves, the actual items?
Yeah, so we do both. We have, if in a perfect world, I wouldn't do collections. I wouldn't have in-kind donations come in. I have people call, oh, I have 12 bottles of shampoo. So I have to drive all the way across the island for 12 bottles of shampoo. I mean, no offense, but you know, like if in a perfect world, we wouldn't do in-kind donations, but right now it's about 50-50. We have people who really want to put their resources in the community together and do a drive, you know, like back to school is coming up. So we will have people who will take on, you know, 10 to 15 kids within their friendships, within their community, and put together packets, you know, put together a larger amount of in-kind donations. I have one woman who has been with us for 5 years, and she always does the pillows, the towels, and the shampoo for the camp. Not financially, but she goes and buys it all. She even does pajamas. She'll go and shop individually for every size. So that's, again, in kind, which is an amazing gift for us. And she does all the shopping. So it's perfect. So that's a perfect, that's a perfect.
I think for her, I mean, I'm putting myself in that situation rather than just, oh, here's a check, you know, being involved, purchasing it, and then knowing those items are going to I mean, that would just, I feel like that you'd feel so much more part of it than just writing a check, you know, in that situation. Yeah,
exactly.
Definitely.
And so we have had to modify our in-kind donations to fit more of that. You can sponsor a certain amount of kids or certain services that we need. Like, like I said, she does all the pillows, all the towels, so she knows, and that's perfect. It's the random smaller donation things that we tend to get overwhelmed with.
I know we've got about a minute left, I think, but
Okay.
I just wanted to ask the question we haven't really talked about very briefly. We have a minute left. How COVID has affected you and how it's changed, how you're going to move forward, if at all.
Yes, so it has affected us. We've had to learn the new guidelines. We've had to actually cut our camp pretty much in half this year. We had to cut down on a lot of our programs. Most of our programs are in halt right now, and we are focused on just making sure that they're going to be prepared for back to school right now, and the summer camp, of course, but back to school. And we're going to just move forward as Hawaii
things open up.
Yeah, as Hawaii opens, we're going to open it back up as well.
I just want to tell you, I appreciate you so much, everything you're doing and your passion and keeping it going all these years. I see nothing but getting bigger and bigger and expanding. Thank you. And I really appreciate you being here, and you have a great 4th of July weekend.
Yeah, great. Thanks again for having me.
All right. Bye, everybody. See you next week.